The objective of this design was to create a design for increasing the usability of the outdoor space between Thornton Hall D and E wings, and in creating my proposed design, I adhered to the 3 requirements stipulated by the university. Number 1, create a level 2,000 square foot pad that can accommodate a semi-permanent tent on a seasonal basis. Number 2, add infiltration-based stormwater best management practices in the space. And number 3, paths added to provide access to the pad in Item 1 must meet all ADA requirements. In keeping with UVA's facility design guidelines, I chose to create one rectangular pad to the east of the current sidewalk. As this area already has a relatively small change in elevation and has few objects impeding construction, I chose to avoid building over manholes, and I also chose to make the dimensions of the pad 50 feet by 40 feet, as this design seemed to fit the available space best. As I experimented with different drawing dimensions, I noticed that most tended to require more cut and fill than this option. Because building the pad over an area with a steeper elevation change would require additional cut and fill, and would therefore be much less cost-effective, I decided to avoid those options in the design. I chose to situate the pad next to the existing sidewalk in order to avoid the expense of constructing an additional sidewalk to the pad. For the best stormwater BMP for the area, I chose a vegetated swale to be built linearly adjacent to the pad, to the east side toward the steep elevation drop. I chose this location after creating a catchment area in Civil 3D using the water drop method, and seeing that the flow lines show that almost all water in the area will flow relatively straight toward the east. UVA has implemented vegetated swales in multiple locations around grounds, and as a result, the university would likely be very receptive to this BMP choice for the Seas Complex project. In addition, if sufficient funding is available, I would propose implementing a second BMP into the Seas Complex design, creating the pad itself out of permeable pavers.